Hi, welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers. And I was commissioned to build a Sith Dark Side relic that was based on similar construction to my Desert Dragon saber that I completed last year. And this is it. I've just finished it and I'm really proud of it. It's got my first ever Krayt Dragon tooth, which I've painstakingly built to be a really strong, durable, tooth-like substance. It actually feels and looks like a tooth with a lot of graining, and the sound holes of course have been drilled in there so that this is a sound equipped saber. For a belt clip I used a chain, which is something that I haven't seen done before. Not to say that it hasn't been done before, but anyways, you can see the kind of tribal dark etching pattern that I've concocted for this saber, as well as a really cool powder coating that I've managed to age and weather. The whole saber is really weathered. This is the most weathered saber I think I've ever done. So this would be something that's come out of a crypt on Korriban somewhere. And of course, one of the striking features right away is the claw. Generally, I don't do claw sabers, but with this design, it just kind of screamed for it. They can be a little dangerous hooking on clothing and skin. As with most of my high-end sabers, this is dual worthy, but because of the claw and because of some of the inside components which I will show you, I'm certifying this for light to medium dueling, not the hardest dueling. Light to medium dueling will be fine for this saber, and I'm going to use this video as the instructions to show the new user, the new owner, how to operate it. First and foremost, I've already got the kill key out, but that's where the kill key goes. It is in a 2.1mm recharge port. So that's where you charge the saber. You plug in the battery charger, and you pull out the kill key, you get the saber boots up. So now you'd want to put in just a standard 1-inch blade. You want to make sure that's in nice and tight. It's a blade retention screw so that it doesn't go flying out through someone's window while you're dueling. And the switches on the saber are actually hidden in the grooves there. So normally that would be the activation switch, but because I'm doing it for a right-handed person and the switches are on the underneath, this is the activation switch. So you tap that switch and the blade comes to life. And of course you've got a Crystal Focus version 7.5, all the different swing sounds, clash sounds. You've got 16 swing sounds, 16 clash sounds, as well as a host of other sounds with the Crystal Focus version 7.5. Now where your finger would fit on a trigger, well that's the auxiliary button. So you got your blaster blocks, your lockup, nice flash on clash, activated during lockup. And of course, because this is a Crystal Focus version 7.5, if you hold down the auxiliary button and tap the activation button, it's a color changing saber. So you get 10 different color presets that you can toggle through to select the perfect color for your saber. It is a quad Kree, red, green, royal blue, so that the reds are going to be really strong with this saber, but you can get the other colors as well. Then you can shut off the saber. That's just basic operation. The blade comes out. Now with this saber actually comes apart. Now I don't permit taking apart of anything up here to access the saber. That would void the warranty, but I'll show you how it comes apart. It's actually very complex, very ancient, but there is a thumb screw right here. Now first things first, when you're taking apart the saber, you want to make sure that your kill key is out, because this is going to unthread and you don't want it to pinch and switch things out of alignment. So make sure your kill key is out, step number 1. Step number 2, you undo this thumb screw. And you want to make sure that you're working over a nice flat surface so you don't lose your parts. Now, in order to continue taking the saber apart, you need this Allen key, which will come supplied. And there's a special bolt. Because I wanted to make this suitable for light to medium dueling, I wanted to make sure that claw was on there really solid. Now you can just simply attach it with this. And you can show it, you can wear it on your belt, it's not going to come off. I would not duel with it like this. It's not as secure as with the other bolt in there. But you can hold it on there temporarily just with the thumb screw. And then you have quick access to remove the claw. You see it's anchored in there, it's machined to nice tight tolerances. So there's very little to no vibration when the bolts are in. So that comes out, you set that aside, And now the kill key's out. You want to double check, you can just unthread the saber right at that joint there. And again, I don't permit any of this to be taken apart, but this is acceptable. You unthread this, and set this piece aside, and you get access to the insides of this saber. As you can see, it's got a glowing, pulsing crystal focus version 7.5, and a nice cradle there. Machined aluminum chassis that's been weathered and aged to match and go with the saber. You've got your, of course, your recharge port here, and this is your rice port, where you can plug in the supplied rice cable, and you can connect that to your computer and make real-time changes to the color of the blades, the different features of the crystal focus, and all that stuff. If you want to watch a video showing some of the basic operations of the rice interface on a different saber, just click here, and I'll provide a link to a different video that I did showing some of the features that you can use with the rice saber. Of course, you can read up in the manual. Now with this saber in reveal mode, you could set it on a stand. Either way, you can have the other piece sitting in there like that and on a stand. You can temporarily mount that back on, just depending on how you want to display it. Now you can see some of the detail of the crystal chassis. All the wires are run through these copper rods that have been machined and aged. There's also some braided wire in there that you probably can't quite see. The crystal, the quartz crystal sphere, or the dragon pearl, is pulsing away. Now, if you wanted to change the sound fonts on the SD card or something like that, you would simply insert the kill key. It shuts off power to the saber, so nothing's going to happen. And then you can just gently pop this out of the cradle, pop the SD card out. You can take that out, put that in your computer, make changes to the sound fonts, pop it back in, make sure that the crystal focus is seated nicely in its cradle. You can be very careful with the crystal focus. When the saber is together, it's very durable. When it's apart like this, it's more fragile. You would never want to duel with it or fight with it in reveal mode like this. So that's a caution. Never fight with it or use it in reveal mode like this. It's just for display. Of course, you pull the kill key out. Saber comes back on, and you get that pulsing crystal effect. Now, if I wanted to change to a different sound font, which I never showed you how to do, the auxiliary button, hold it down.
Sound bank selection.
Now you're in the menu, so you can switch through. You got 10 of my fonts, or 9 of my fonts, and 3 stock fonts. So if you go to a different font, now we're in the Fates font, and the crystal will correspond to a color for that sound font. Hero is green, Fates is blue, Hoth is an ice blue. The dark side fonts, the crystal pulse is all red. So I've set that pulse. You can, of course, change that with the rice or the SD card. So the crystal will pulse with the color. Now when you turn the saber on, if I was to activate the saber, you can see there's a bit of a purple glow coming out of there. The crystal pulses with the color of the blade. Now if I was to shift the color of the blade to red, because the crystal focus version 7.5, crystal continues to pulse with whatever the blade color is. It's a really cool feature. You've also got the crystal flickering and mirroring the blade effects. So when you flash on class, the crystal flashes too. And of course you can see the bar graph animation. I'll show you in a moment when the saber is put back together. You'll get to see that bar graph animation through a projection lens. But that's how to operate this saber. When you're ready, you just, again, very carefully, with the kill key out, you just slide that back on. You want to make sure that no wires are sticking out. And you just slowly and carefully thread that back into place. And you want to make sure that those lines line up perfectly so that when you put your claw bar back on, everything lines up perfectly. And there's a hole there. You can actually see the crystal pulsing through the hole. That's where your screw's going to go. And threads are going to line up nicely. That holds it on. And what I didn't show you before is with the saber activated, you've got a bar graph animation shows through that little projection lens there. So if I was to hold it in lockup, I can see that I've got just 1 and 2 bars on my battery level. That tells me that the battery's getting low, and it's going to need to be charge it up soon. So that's the operation of this saber. I hope the new owner is very pleased with it. Thanks again for watching.